Welcome. Eve here, Empowering Change. And you are very welcome to this Patreon site, which is a way for me to take my practice beyond its usual iteration, which you can find at empowering-change.com, to a place where I'm able to offer two new programs, somewhat less formally than the 12-week groups and programs or individual coaching and mentoring that I offer. So what are these two new programs? About 3 years ago, I began facilitating groups based on Julia Cameron's newest book called It's Never Too Late to Begin Again. It's published in Europe as The Artist's Way in Retirement. And for those of you who aren't familiar with The Artist's Way, it doesn't matter. She introduced a new tool, however, called a memoir. And the gift of the memoir is that as we begin to explore what a third act might look like in our pre-retirement, retirement, or I'm never going to retire stage of my life, we go back and take a look at where we were, where we came from, what we were passionate about, what we thought we might have liked to have done 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years ago. And in that process, I have been privileged to work with people in most of the last 12 years who were born and reared in Ireland, as these were all physical meetups. But in 2020, with this pandemic pivot, included in those groups have been people from mostly the States, but also the UK and Europe. And what's become apparent is that while we may have shared the planet over the last 50 or 60 or 70 years together, we haven't shared, we have very little in the way of a shared understanding of where we came from and what those life events were that impacted our current worldview. I live on the border between the Republic of Ireland and the UK. Brexit has been a very difficult reality. I'm American. I have American children and grandchildren, and the last 4 years there has been a very difficult reality. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be intolerant, and I don't want to be impatient with my neighbors who have very different views. What I've found, what I've learned from the peacemakers in Ireland, because I think we forget that this is a post-conflict society. What I've learned from the peacemakers here is that all we can do is tell our stories. And so by moving this bit, if you will, of my practice to this platform, I'm hoping to make available to more people the ability to tell me your story. There's an American psychologist called Dan Gottlieb who says those are the 5 most powerful words in the English language. So we have a memoir workshop and a storytelling workshop, and you are invited to join either or both. So storytelling to repair the world, or a memoir to take a deep dive into really embracing an exuberant third act. Either way, I look forward to meeting you and hearing your stories. Thanks.